You're watching NTC News, DeKalb County's only television news source, on the campus of Northern Illinois University and from the Northern Television Center. This is NTC News Tonight.
An NIU student is dead after falling from a high-rise dormitory room on the west side of campus. Good evening, I'm Brianna Flood.
And I'm Stoney Royce. It happened late Saturday at Stevenson Hall. NTC's Emily Beebe tells us university officials refuse to release even basic details. But here's what she has pieced together.
Here at Stevenson Hall, it's a mystery why one student fell out an 11th story window. And NIU police have refused to confirm much of anything. But what we do know is that the student in question is 19-year-old Tim Okadina. From Des Plaines, Okadina is a sophomore studying accounting. Okadina lived at New Hall, but was visiting a friend in Stevenson, where he also worked at the front desk. Saturday night, a witness tells us, Okadina locked himself in his friend's room, and while his friend was desperately trying to get someone to help him open up the door, Okadina pushed out the screen and either fell or jumped out the window. Okadina was active in a religious group called Campus Crusades for Christ, and he was also a varsity soccer player at Maine East High School. We spoke with one student who's been friends with Okadina since his freshman year.
Timmy was just like a really funny guy. He was always like smiling. You never saw him sad or disappointed. Even though everyone else might have been like disappointed or sad, he would always like be joyful and try to cheer everyone up with his jokes and just his overall attitude.
Right now, everyone seems to be in the dark about circumstances regarding Okadina's death. DeKalb County Coroner Dennis Miller says Okadina's autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow, but who knows how long it will be before we find out about any test results. At Stevenson Hall, I'm Emily Beebe, NTC News.
The university says it has extended counseling and consultation hours for students who may need help coping with the loss.
A water main broke this morning between Cole and Revis Halls. Because of the break, the university's heating and cooling system isn't working properly and cannot get water into the chillers. The buildings affected are Barcema Alumni Center, Cole, Gable, Graham, DuSable, Revis, Watson, and Zuloff Halls. We are told that the break is a top priority and will be fixed as soon as possible.
Two DeKalb County Sheriff's deputies face a formal inquiry and possible discipline for how they handled a high-speed pursuit that ended in a fatal crash. Deputy Megan Patangle was chasing a 25-year-old man in her squad car following a reported domestic dispute last March. His car went out of control and crashed. He later died. Patangle's husband, Sergeant Ryan Patangle, was her supervisor. Sheriff Roger Scott has recommended firing Megan Patangle and a 60-day suspension without pay for Ryan Patangle.
The Illinois budget freeze has affected student lives on NIU's campus. Classes for students majoring in anthropology, theater, and dance are being relocated to other buildings on campus due to the Stevens building construction. The project started in September of 2014 and is only 40% complete because funding came from the state budget. Progress has been stopped since June 30th and will only resume with an improved budget.
DeKalb neighborhood parks are getting a much-needed makeover. Here at Shipman Park on the south side of DeKalb, construction has already begun. The park district has removed the old equipment and the new equipment will be installed next month. It costs just under $18,000. DeKalb Park officials say that handicap-accessible sidewalks will be installed to bring the park up to code, and the play area will be moved so it's 50 feet away from the road.
The long-debated Sycamore Sober House remains empty. Needed electrical and heating and cooling renovations have delayed the opening of the Sober House once again. Although it was approved by Sycamore City Council members in May. City Manager Brian Gregory says there was never a timeline discussed when the Sober House would be operational.
Ben Gordon Center could be joining the Kish Health Systems. A deal between two sides is still in its early stages, but a letter of intent has already been signed. The deal would allow mental health patients with Kish Health to move to the Ben Gordon Center for lower-level treatment. The deal could be done as early as November, a month before Northwestern Healthcare is set to acquire Kish Health.
People who drive on the east side of DeKalb say they are seeing more and more danger on a major city road.
As NTC reporter Chris Starson tells us, some are complaining that Peace Road is anything but peaceful.
If you live in DeKalb or Sycamore, you're probably familiar with Peace Road. The road happens to be one of the most highly traveled in the area. Drivers from all around DeKalb and Sycamore can be seen using the county highway at any time during the day. or evening. For local resident Allison Rosenau, who lives near the intersection of Peace and Freed Roads in Sycamore, the road seems to be unavoidable.
Where I live, I'm stuck either using Route 64 or Peace. So unless I'm driving in the middle of a cornfield, I don't have a choice.
Rosenau is one of a number of local residents voicing concerns over this highly used county highway. The intersection near her home has been cause for great concern. When traveling left at this intersection, drivers face others traveling at high speeds around a curve. County engineer Nathan Schwartz says the roads are generally safe.
The majority of the accidents out there are due to driver error. You know, somebody's not paying attention, they're on their phone or talking to somebody in the back seat or something like that.
Residents who use Peace Road frequently would still like to see a number of changes. More streetlights, wider turn lanes to prevent congestion, medians in busier intersections. All are ideas proposed by residents concerned over the safety of Peace Road. Rosenau knows changes will cost time and money, but feels there are more important issues to be concerned about.
At what expense, in my opinion, does it cost to, versus losing someone's life?
Schwartz says the Highway Department is always looking for ways to improve safety, though with current state budget difficulties, as well as several other factors, change is not always easy to come by. In Sycamore, Chris Larson, NTC News.
Thanks, Chris. Well, there's nothing dangerous going on at our weather center. Emery Danins is there now.
A cloudy day so far at NIU's weather station, but hopefully you got out last night to witness the total lunar eclipse as the clouds parted. Now today we woke up to overcast skies, but as the day progresses, we should see some sunshine. And for Tuesday, across the northern Illinois region, we should see temperatures generally 10 degrees cooler than today, in the mid-60s to lower 70s. And along with those cooler temperatures, we will see a chance for some rain along with high winds, so be sure to bring a jacket. To hear more about the extended weather forecast, stay with us. You're watching NTC News Tonight. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you all had a wonderful summer. It feels great to be back here at NIU. Now, I know last week was very sunny, very warm, and this week's a little bit different. Although we are still warm, high of about 78 degrees today, much above normal for this time of year, as is our overnight low of about 60. Those temperatures will be falling in the next couple of days. If you were outside today, you saw those overcast skies this morning give way to partly cloudy skies this afternoon, and those humidities around 93% definitely felt sticky, but those as well will be going soon, so don't worry about that. If you were out today, you saw again that cloud cover that covered most of the eastern part of the United States, and note this low to the west of our area, an associated cold front which will come down as we get into Tuesday night. We'll see a little decrease in cloud cover, but as we go from Monday night into Tuesday, that low will pass, or that cold front will pass through our area, bringing with it a chance for some showers. But good news is, as we go from Tuesday into Tuesday night, that cold front will move even further south, as will the rain, and that high pressure will start building into our region, which will bring sunny skies for later this week. Looking at tonight, we'll see mostly cloudy conditions with an overnight low of about 59 degrees, and we do have a chance of showers with that cold front passing through our area. And then into Tuesday again, chance of showers more towards the morning hours with a high of about 67 degrees. And after that front passes, we will see a decrease in clouds. But for Tuesday, note, other than the rain, we do have high winds possibly gusting to 25 miles per hour, so you might want to bring a jacket with you. And then on Tuesday night, we'll see mostly clear conditions with an overnight low of about 45 degrees, a little bit chillier than we're used to, but we're definitely getting into those fall temperatures. Then let's take a look at our 5-day weather forecast. For Tuesday, again, with that cold front coming through, we have a chance of rain, high of about 67. And then Wednesday and Thursday in the mid-60s, very sunny. And as we go into the weekend, in the lower 60s with sunshine as well. That's all for weather. Let's send it back to the desk.
A famous Navy Pier attraction has taken its last spin.
And Metro passengers may be getting free Wi-Fi. These are today's state lines.
The huge Ferris wheel at Chicago's Navy Pier is being dismantled so an even larger one can go up. Thousands of people lined up over the weekend to take a final ride on the 20-year-old attraction. The new 196-foot structure should be in place by the middle of next year.
Metro plans to offer free wireless internet to passengers on 10 train cars to test whether to offer the service system-wide. The commuter rail agency announced Friday that the cars will be retrofitted with cellular hotspots by January. The 6-month pilot project will cost about $35,000.
Teachers in a suburban Chicago school district have voted to ratify a tentative agreement on a new contract. The move ends a strike that had closed down schools. The union's website says Project Heights School District 23 will resume classes on Monday.
Environmental groups say the state budget standoff could lead to more trash in Illinois dumps. The Illinois Environmental Council says possible layoffs of workers in statewide recycling programs could face cancellation of the programs. And those are today's state lines.
An investigation is opening on the former CEO of Volkswagen.
And powerful world leaders meet for the UN General Assembly. Here's what's happening in today's World Watch.
German prosecutors are opening an investigation into Martin Winterkorn, now the former CEO of Volkswagen. They've released a statement saying the probe centers around what they're calling allegations of fraud related to the sale of cars with manipulated emission test results.
Global leaders are descending on the United Nations. The 70th session of the UN General Assembly began today. The first day featured some of the most powerful world leaders, including President Barack Obama and the presidents of Russia, Iran, and China.
In Spain, separatists campaigning for an independent Catalonia are celebrating. Pro-independence parties have won a majority of seats in the regional parliament. A nationwide election is to take place in December.
Shell says it will end offshore drilling in Alaska indefinitely. The end of the controversial project marks a victory for environmentalists who were concerned about the short and long-term ecological damage that drilling would cause. And that's today's World Watch.
Welcome to NTC Sports. I'm Ryan Mack. The Chicago Bears just can't seem to pull things together. Over the weekend, the Bears were routed by the Seattle Seahawks. Let's take a look at how that game unfolds. Early on in the first, the Seahawks put up a quick field goal to lead the game 3-0. Now, and here's that one, now turning into 6-0. The kickoff goes down to Tyler Lockett, who finds the gap between the defense and tears down the field. All the way from his own end zone, Lockett puts up the 6 points with a 105-yard kickoff return. Now Russell Wilson makes a pass right up the middle to Jimmy Graham, who makes the catch. He breaks the tackle to score and keep the Seahawks ahead. The Seahawks take on the Bears 26-0. Moving over to the PGA, and a man who's quickly becoming golf's golden boy. Jordan Spieth is on a rampage this year, winning 5 PGA events, including the US Open and the Masters. He also took home the trophy for the Tour Championship over this past weekend. Let's see how he did it. Early on, Spieth starts at 7 under for the day. Now a birdie putt on the 8th hole, a par 4, and Spieth sinks the putt to move on, 8 under par. Continuing on to hole 9, Spieth at it again, taps in for birdie and makes it, now 9 under par. Again continuing, Spieth on hole 11, a 30-footer, he curls this one in, drops in the right side of the cup and sinks it for 9 under par. Henrik Stenson could only smile as they walk together, pounding knuckles after that amazing putt. Now Spieth on 18 to finish it off with a little 8-footer. He wins the tournament. He's ecstatic with his play here. This is the final. He wins the FedEx Cup. He's named Player of the Year and moves up to #1 in the world. Now we move over to Major League Baseball and the Philadelphia Phillies. This is today's play of the day. A pitch down the plate to Clint Robinson. He cracks one right out to center field where Aaron Altier makes a spectacular diving catch. Here's the replay on this one. Altier stretching east to west out for that catch. The Phillies take the win and Altier takes the play of the day. Well, that's all for sports. Emily Beebe will be back with you on Wednesday.
It was a good weekend for Apple's new iPhones.
The company says it sold 13 million iPhone 6s and 6s Plus devices in just 3 days. That's a record for Apple. In a statement, Apple CEO Tim Cook says early customer feedback on the new iPhones has been positive. Let's take it out to Emory Danis for one last look at our weather.
Don't forget, Tuesday we should see a chance for some rain and cooler temperatures, so you might want to bring along your umbrella.
Thanks, Emory. NTC News Tonight is produced and directed by students here at Northern Illinois University. We want to thank you all for being with us.
We'll be back this same time on Wednesday. Goodbye, everyone.